And Spacefish Racing are likely to struggle for pace in Milan. Well down on the usual? Thank you. Love you too. God, it's so frustrating to hear after all that development work and everything. But the new season is going to come soon. And then we'll see. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of Motorsport Manager with me, Spacefish, and well, as you can see, we're just here where we left off in the last episode with Hong just barely missing the sponsorship objective and nothing up front really looking all too fancy for us, and Gomez just kind of being all the way at the back as kind of expected. So not really too happy about the overall situation. We're kind of so close, but yet so far once more, and I don't think we're going to get any further up front. We will try, we will finish the race, but let's see what's going to come off of this, and, well, we're going to get overtaken again, so even further from the sponsorship objective. We're going to go to the end of the race, and, well, then we're going to probably have, you know, a bit of a management part, you know, hopefully improving our car a bit further, and, well, we'll see. But as you can see, I mean, we're just losing spots after spots after spots on the grid right now. So, I mean, 16th, we're going to go down to 17th and 18th and 19th eventually, potentially. Which is kind of crazy, honestly, because I don't think our car is this bad. Okay, so this person in 17th is going to have to go to the box once more, well, to the pits. So that's at least something, but I really don't think our car is this bad. I don't think this is where we should be. It is honestly kind of a bit frustrating at this point. Now, we do have some excess fuel, so we're going to go and use that. I don't think I've got much of any excess tyres, so we're not going to use anything right there. And I'm actually also going to have to tune Andre Gomez's engine down here before we actually run out of fuel. So let's try and at least hold on to the 16th spot. I'm honestly kind of a bit annoyed because I think, like, I don't think this is where we should be on the grid at this point in the season, you know, with a lot of development work. And we don't really seem to be doing much better, so I'm not all too happy with that, I will have to say. And we will just somehow have to try and improve this a bit more. Now, these tyres are looking pretty darn bad, to be honest, and these tyres are not looking all too great either. So I'm going to put both of these down to conserve, and hopefully it's going to be somewhat fine to actually get them into the finish line. This engine I'm going to do going tuned down to medium again once more as well, just to ensure that we're going to have enough fuel, because as you can see, that's pretty borderlining it, pretty much borderlining it, and well, that's going to be it about. I don't think we're going to get overtaken by Rogers again, so yeah, 16th and 18th spot for our two drivers. I don't know, I mean, it's not been super inconsistent. The car hasn't been blowing up anymore due to probably also a bit of a change of strategy from my side, but I don't really think we can be too happy with this kind of results at this place in the season. So, well, I don't know. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna go and work more on improving our car once more, and somehow push it along a bit further for the rest of the season and try and maybe get a few more sponsorship objectives from this. But quite frankly, I don't really see us going any further in the season. Like, I mean, we're gonna maybe get to a point where we can get a few more sponsorship objectives at least, but we're not going to have any crazy results because there is not going to be any more parts developments. We are just going to be conserving all our money that we can, and at this point, it's really kind of just, this is going to be more or less the level that we're at for the last few races of the season, unfortunately, which, well, is a bit frustrating, but that's going to have to be the way that it is. I mean, we've still got some parts to actually improve to still get into the car, so, you know, there is going to be a slight boosts here and there still, and, you know, especially on the second car, we've still got a lot of improvement work to do, so, you know, I mean, things are going to keep coming along a bit, but I don't think we're going to go and push anywhere like crazy. But let's look at our driver development here. You can see Andre not really coming along that far. Hong, though, making some decent progress. I think braking just leveled up to 10 for him, which is indeed very great, and his fitness is going somewhere too. Feedback is just about to level. Smoothness is improving. Everything's improving a good bit, and I mean, we all know he's got a lot of potential, so very much looking forward to that. Marketability didn't really change, so well, kind of unfortunate, but that is going to be what it is. And we are going down to $3 million now. So, I mean, there is going to be some sponsorship renewals still coming up, I think. So that should help a bit with the budget. I'm definitely going to be picking those with a high upfront bonus, because I think that's a bonus sponsor. So I just want the upfront payments from these at the moment, because I don't think we can really reliably hit those sponsorship objectives. And, well, then we'll see. You know, how many races do we still have for a start? Maybe let's look at the calendar. We've got another 2. So basically, even if we don't hit the sponsorship objectives on both of these, we are still going to be at 1 million or like 800k-ish left, which is not going to be great, but we're at least going to be balancing the books, and we're going to go and get an end of the season bonus, of course, for our participation. And I think we're also going to get like some money from our main sponsor, and hopefully, you know, the sponsorship objectives. I hope we're going to have enough money to at least develop a somewhat better car in terms of the statistics, because like this tire wear, heating, fuel efficiency, improvability kind of thing is really not that great, you know, and the higher up we can get it, the better for the next season. So hopefully we're going to have a bit of money in the back end. Now, I don't want to go for an interview because nothing really went well for us. Quick report, nothing interesting in here. Pit crew right here. There's another 5 people for us to hire. Now, we're going to have to kind of think this through very, very carefully at this point, because we don't have a lot of money. I'm going to go and I think swap this guy in for, well, I mean, he's not really that... God. He's not really that relaxed yet, is he? Like, we can maybe swap this guy in. I think that's kind of maybe good, just to avoid any mistakes. This one here is, like, super exhausted. I don't really seem to have anyone to replace him very well. Could go for that one. I guess we're going to go for that one. I mean, this one is really more of a front jack person than anything. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. What do we do? Do we go for this? Or do we keep more exhausted persons still? What do I have here? Just tires, nothing else really. I don't think these people are all too good, so I'm not going to hire them. I think we're going to keep some more exhausted people on the team, because I don't really have, like, the other people kind of have to chill as well. And, well, it could lead to more mistakes, which means that we maybe need to tune down our pit strategy, which has that far really, really gotten us a few seconds every race. Like, I mean, just that race alone with Hong, we just, like, got 6 seconds from that, which, given that our car is, like, maybe a second slower than most of the other teams in the grid at the moment, means that we kind of just equalized 6 laps of disadvantage, which is a lot. So, I mean, it's a bit of a pain, because honestly, I think our pit crew is kind of one of the better things in the team currently, and, well, having to tune that down is, of course, a bit annoying, but we'll have to work like that for the time being. Now, we're fixing the car for the time being, I think. So, yep, there we go. We will have to go on to reliability now. Now, engines are at 80%. We slightly pushed that before the last race, I think, so we're not going to push that anymore. Now, the first thing to really look at, we can push the performance of our main car suspension a bit more. So we're going to do that. Maybe afterwards just push this. I mean, or we could just max the reliability on our main car, which would also be kind of good. If we look at this, we need top speed and deceleration. Now, top speed will kind of mean that if I have 100% reliability on my engine, I could just really push every last bit out of it. And I also just noticed that this says no, now it says 80. Didn't it just say 79? Maybe I looked at that. But yeah, so like, I mean, being able to push every last bit of fuel into the engine without risking it blowing up would be kind of nice. So maybe a good idea to just kind of force that little last bit of performance out of the car. And then after that's done, I think we can honestly just focus on improving the other car a bit more, you know. We don't have the gearbox in there yet, which could be a nice performance boost. We still have the brakes here that haven't gotten their performance boost, and the engine as well. And, you know, so there's a bunch of things I think we can work on. And given, like, the priorities of the next race, I think I would just do brakes and engine performance for that car. But let's start with this and hope that it helps out. We also have, like, sponsorship stuff, so let's check that out. And as you can see, one of our bonus sponsor slots is empty, and the other one is going to follow in one race. So that's going to be some nice upfront payments. Let's check these out. And as you can see, we've got a 3-star sponsor here, which, you know, one's 4th or above, which is totally never going to happen. But we get an upfront payment of $1 million, which is great. We're definitely going to take that. There's like no questioning that. The more money we can have for for end of season development, as I said, the better. So that's going to be great. We also are going to unlock a fixed payment sponsor slot very soon, which should be pretty cool because most of these are actually still level 1, and due to the marketability from our new driver, we have level 3 sponsors approaching us now, so we can hopefully get more money per race, which would be great. You know, also looking forward to that one because that's level 1. We've got level 2 here, which is, you know, decent, but we can get further up that there too. So that could be kind of cool. You know, actually having higher fixed payments would make the budget drawback per race, of course, a lot lower, which would mean in the long run we would have a lot more money to invest in the cars. So very, very much looking forward to that part too. Looking at the HQ real quick, maybe, I mean, we're not going to build anything now. I'm not quite sure, you know. This is, of course, kind of nice, you know, improvement rate for drivers and everything, but God, I mean, 8 mil, we don't have that at the moment. Some marketing stuff would be great eventually too, you know, just to get those max sponsors eventually, but I do not even seem to have that unlocked just yet. Or where would that even be? Kind of unsure. Was there not like a marketing center somewhere? I do not have that yet, do I? So I don't know. That is a bit weird. I thought there was like... Oh, right. So this was kind of more the marketing thing. The helipad. That gets you the 5-star sponsors, which of course gets you a lot of money, which of course is kind of, you know, very important to actually push your team along and build even more buildings and everything. So I think this may be pretty desirable. Eventually we would need a level 2 design center for that though. So we'll see when we actually get that. It's just part design time, so I'm not really too fussed with it at the moment, to be honest. Except for the fact that we can then get the helipad. But I don't think it's too cheap either, so maybe in the future. But okay, so that's going to be our development strategy and everything for the time being. We will go and get this going for the time being. Performance work is done. So that is going to be the max out of that suspension. And now we are going to focus on the reliability of that engine, which is going to be done 15 days before the race, so that's going to actually mean that we can probably push other things a bit more. Maybe we'll do the brakes a bit before the race as well, because if it's going to be very demanding on the brakes, you know, I don't want those to break. But for the time being, factory point system changes for an upcoming review. A move that can have a huge impact. The proposed rule would see points only being given out to the top 5 drivers, meaning that the teams lower down the championship may struggle to score any points at all. What? No, that's pretty bad for us, so we want to vote against that as much as we can, I think. We finished all of our part development jobs, and the guys are getting bored. We can improve the car. Yeah, okay, right. We already did that. What's that? Expose. Hello. We are running an expose on Sylvia Racing and their awful working practices. We've had testimonials from their mechanics saying they're overworked, understaffed, and a ton of debt. Would you be willing to let us interview your mechanics to give our readers a reference point? They might have a few things to say about your own drivers, but it'll bring Silver Racing down a few pegs. No, why would I want to do that? No, we're not going to do that. Bye-bye. Okay, moving on. Our reliability work is going to happen up here. Scouting is apparently finished, so yeah, maybe we want to just scout in a few more people. Not like I'm really crazily interested in it, but you know, I suppose, I don't know. I suppose we may as well use that scouting capacity. So we're going to do that. That's going to get going. And I think it's race day? Yeah, there's some race happening, so that's why the game actually stopped, not due to the scouting. So we'll move straight through right here. And then we'll move on to when our engine thing is done. And there's actually going to be vote too. So let's see about that vote. That is the points thing. So I'm definitely going to vote against. I do have multiple votes. So I'm going to vote against. It doesn't really say that it doesn't benefit us, but I really don't like that sort of rule. I think that's going to be very difficult for us as well until like the 3rd season or something. So no, I think in the 2nd season we need to have that ability to score points in the midfield and hopefully through consistency get ourselves somewhere better. But yeah, so voting against with all my votes, and let's skip to the end, see what actually happens. 3 votes for, and like, well, a huge ton of votes against. So that is very good indeed. That got rejected. Very, very good for us. That. So, yeah, I mean, this is, oh wow. I mean, we're like still in the 10th spot anywhere on the grid, which is kind of crazy. But okay, we're gonna be. Is this done? It is done. We're going to be improving some other things. So let's max reliability. No, not max reliability. This we're gonna max reliability it. I think we're just gonna make it max reliability. Kind of do our best to not have a car fall apart, and then we're gonna improve brake performance and engine performance for the other car, basically. So let's get going on that. Very nice, by the way. I can really feel the impact of the factory. You know, another 20 workers is really, really speeding things up a lot for us in terms of parts improvements. So, very good thing that we now have the factory done. I think even the 2nd season, it's going to help us quite a lot. So, hopefully going to be great. I did not want to design a part. I wanted to improve parts. And as you can see, our brakes are now 100% as well. So, I think we're going to... 18 minutes. So we're going to push engine performance to the max first, and then we're going to just get the most out of the brake performance that we can for Gomez, and well, hopefully that's going to help a bit. So we're done. We are going to go and grab the brakes, and we actually just wasted time. So that's not too great. Annoying. Annoying. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing really too interesting here, and budget to upgrade the factory. I just did that. God, come on, please. I don't have that money. I prepared a brief, blah, blah, blah. What's the weather like? There's likely to be some rain during the race, with Sunday showing a 40% chance of rain. Okay, so something to keep in mind right there. Now, what's that? Oh, I think it's race day again. We've got 2 scouting things done again as well, so we're just gonna... No, please. Hello? Scouting. We're just going to go and scout that person, and we're going to go and scout that person, and we're going to continue. You know, I may as well scout everyone in the racing series. Not that I'm super interested in any new drivers right now, but maybe that knowledge will help us later down the line. So we'll see. We'll continue, and it should be race day for us soon now. Now, as I said, I mean, the brake performance is not going to be maxed by then, but we're getting somewhere. And Spacefish Racing are likely to struggle for pace in Milan. Well down on the usual? Thank you. Love you too. God, it's so frustrating to hear after all that development work and everything. But the new season is going to come soon, and then we'll see. Then we will see. But there we go. That is everything done on the management side once more. So it is now time to actually move on to the Milan Grand Prix. We're going to go big Golden Tiger Bank once more, because that's, as always, kind of like the only sponsorship objective like we're even remotely realistically going to hit. And, well, you know, look at those past results. It's kind of sad at this point. But let's see. I mean, you know, we developed a bit of a stronger engine for the main car at this point. So I'm hoping that's going to help us, especially with the extra reliability that we now added. Hopefully we can just like max fuel all the time, just have overtake basically permanently on. And hopefully that way we can actually kind of surpass our expectations this race, you know, with this very long straight race. hopefully that's somehow going to help us. We're going to see. We're going to see how it goes. Let's go to the race, and let's see what is going to end up happening for us. But yeah, so very, 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 very long straights, which, as I said, is going to favor performance a lot, and brakes, which we're not too bad at either. I mean, I think we've got a pretty all-round car now this late into the season. You know, our improvements have kind of really been everywhere, so... Well, we'll see how this all is going to work out for us. I don't know. I'm kind of split, you know. On the one hand side, I'm thinking, you know, maybe the reliability is going to do something for us. On the other hand side, I'm kind of pessimistic. One way or another, we will find out now, and we will get our 2 main drivers into the car as per usual. We'll already get a setup going. I think low downforce is probably only going to... honestly kind of going to be the name of the game here, so going to just lower that angle by half a degree for now. We are going to go for a bit more top speed, I think, and we're going to go and make the suspension a bit harder, because there's not going to be a lot of curves, so they probably just want a bit more understeery off a drive. Now, I mean, this is kind of going to be the question, right, because there's going to be rain. Like, the thing is, we only have 21 laps in this Grand Prix, I think. Right, so if Gomez has 10 to 12 laps, the other guy has 8 to 10. So I think, you know, 2-stop doable. I don't want to go at mediums. I think mediums are not the name of the game right here. We're going to go softs once more. And we're going to do about the same thing for him. So half a degree less in wing angle. Like this. Actually, no. Ooh, wow. Maybe we're not going to do the same thing for him. Interesting. Half a degree more in wing angle? I don't know. It's kind of unexpected, to be honest. Why would you want that much downforce in that straighter track? I don't know, maybe due to the very long curves. You know, having a bit more grip there. Handling kind of as I expected, to be honest. And we're going to make this slightly more top speed heavy. And soft tyres for you two. That's it. Let's get them out. Let's take the actual practice and send them out like this. So 1, 2, and max that strategy while they go out. So, well, I don't know. Fingers crossed that this will somehow be fine for us. We will go and have a timed lap first, I think, and then we will get them back in to actually tinker with the setup once more. So handling seems to be fine for a start. We've got a new faster sector, but that's probably going to change rather quickly. Gear ratios are just right. Very good news on Hong's side too. And we've got a second fastest sector, and none of these have actually yet been messed with. So that's interesting. 118.552, half a second faster than Gomez, which is kind of crazy. We're going to bring them both in. We'll see what the other people actually do in terms of lap times. Well, everybody's out on mediums, you know, that's the thing again. I don't know how much faster the mediums are going to be, but like, I'm probably going to be like a second faster or something. So, yeah. You know, I think this is... not yet representative of what will happen in the race. But we're going to get them in. We're going to go and tinker with the setup a bit, see if we can somehow optimize the times. And there you go. That's a proper soft time now. We're nearly a second off again, which... I mean, it's kind of what I expected. This is actually crazy. Pretty much hit everything spot on, which is great news. I mean, that for me kind of just means we can just let him run forever now and just grab some... grab some intel. I'm not going to tinker with that speed balance anymore. We're at 98% optimum balance, so I think we're pretty good where we're at. I'm just going to go for 4 laps, and then we're going to go for new set of softs, and we're going to have them run. So you can go. How about him? Yeah, he needs a bit more tinkering. So I did kind of go the wrong way with the front wing angle, which was kind of apparent after we saw what happened to Hong, I suppose. So we're going to go the other way. And handling seemed to be about good. Speed balance, not too great, which is interesting. We're going to make it a bit longer for now, see if that is the way to go for him. And kind of try and optimize the handling here to just that. Perfect. So that's going to be the new way for that. We're going to do 2 stints on him because we're going to have to pull him back in and actually experiment with that. And Hong can just stay out instead. So, well, let's see how that will work. Gonna get him back out, and we're just gonna go and skip through the out lap as per usual, pretty much. Kind of interested to see what Hong can do as well now with the new tyres, if he can improve on that time any little bit. I don't really think so, because there's like a lot of traffic out there. So he's probably just going to be out there to get like all the knowledge we can to hopefully get it all to level 3. Now today seems to be a dry day, so we don't seem to have any chance of actually getting any knowledge on like wet tires or anything, unfortunately. Do I need to bring him in right now? I think so, right? I do. Wow, that was nearly a whoopsie, but he did a lap now, and we got some more knowledge on this. So downforce a lot better. Gear ratios do not seem to have changed, which is kind of weird. Still the same opinion about the speed balance. So do I make it even longer, or is it somewhere in the middle? I mean, like, that's a jump, like a crazy one. Maybe like that. Maybe like this. Let's try that. Not make the gear ratios any longer, just work with tire pressure and tire camber instead. Hopefully that's going to do the right thing for him, and will kind of allow us to see where we need to go with this. But there we go. That's kind of the last change we're going to make before actually choosing the race setup, so we'll kind of see how that goes afterwards then. But for now, we're going to go back to attack, going to go back to overtake, and then we're just going to let him run all those remaining laps until the timer actually runs out. Now, Hong seems to have actually improved a bit, you know, which is great. He just got what? Wow. So I think that's a lady, and she just did a 2 seconds faster time than him on half-used mediums. Which just shows you how flippant far behind we are at this point. That is incredibly crazy. I mean, wow. That's like pretty darn bad. Hong actually just ran out of fuel. Which, well, he's like bringing himself in that way. But we're where we need to be for knowledge, so it's not really a concern. But like, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of anticlimactic, isn't it? I mean, like, just given that it's another like 6/10 off Hong now, 6/10, and like, I don't know. I mean, like, he must be already at 1.5 seconds off or something. Like, I feel he's like 2 to 2.5 seconds slower than the top of the field every single lap at this point. So, kind of crazy. But that is about the practice session done. So, I don't know. Let's see how the reliability of the engine is going to play out for us during the race. I think that's really the only thing we can hope for, just being able to push with that overtake mode and somehow be faster than the rest of the field that way. And, well, then we're going to see where we're going to end up. I mean, practice, as always, being pretty promising, but as we all know, in the race, it does fall off a lot. So, well, good fashion sense. Very nice. But yeah, so that is going to be it then for today. We're going to actually head into the race in the next episode. So I'm going to end it off right here for now. I hope you all very much enjoyed it as usual. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button right down below. That does always help out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with that all out of the way, as always, everyone, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.